Hello friend, welcome to my channel Social Share Education. In this video, I will write essay on International Day for Biological Diversity. The International Day for Biological Diversity, celebrated annually on 22nd May, is a global observance dedicated to raising awareness about the importance of biodiversity and promoting actions to protect and conserve it. Biodiversity, or biological diversity, encompasses the variety of all life forms on Earth, including plants, animals, fungi, and microorganisms, as well as the ecosystems they inhabit. This day serves as a reminder of the vital role that biodiversity plays in maintaining ecological balance, supporting human well-being, and providing ecosystem services essential for life on our planet. The origins of the International Day for Biological Diversity can be traced back to the adoption of the Convention on Biological Diversity, CBD, during the Earth Summit in Rio de Janeiro in 1992. The CBD is a landmark international treaty aimed at conserving biodiversity, promoting sustainable use of its components, and ensuring fair and equitable sharing of benefits arising from the use of genetic resources. To commemorate the adoption of the CBD, the United Nations proclaimed 22nd May as the International Day for Biological Diversity in 2000, providing a global platform to promote biodiversity awareness and action. Biodiversity is essential for the health and stability of ecosystems, which provide numerous services that sustain human life and well-being. These ecosystem services include air and water purification, pollination of crops, soil fertility, climate regulation, and the provision of food, medicine, and raw materials. Biodiversity also plays a critical role in supporting cultural and recreational activities, contributing to the beauty and richness of our natural world. The loss of biodiversity, therefore, poses a significant threat to both the environment and human society, undermining the foundation of life on Earth. One of the key themes of the International Day for Biological Diversity is raising awareness about the causes and consequences of biodiversity loss. Human activities, such as deforestation, habitat destruction, overexploitation of resources, pollution, and climate change, are major drivers of biodiversity loss. These activities disrupt ecosystems, degrade habitats, and threaten the survival of species, leading to declines in biodiversity at an alarming rate. The extinction of species and the degradation of ecosystems have far-reaching implications, affecting the resilience of natural systems, the availability of ecosystem services, and the overall health of the planet. The International Day for Biological Diversity emphasizes the need for concerted efforts to protect and conserve biodiversity. Conservation strategies include the establishment and management of protected areas, such as national parks, wildlife reserves, and marine sanctuaries, which provide safe havens for species and ecosystems. In addition to protected areas, sustainable land and resource management practices are essential to minimize human impact on biodiversity. This includes sustainable agriculture, forestry, fisheries, and urban planning that prioritize ecological balance and biodiversity conservation. Moreover, the International Day for Biological Diversity highlights the importance of integrating biodiversity considerations into national and international policies and decision-making processes. Governments, organizations, and communities are encouraged to adopt policies and regulations that promote biodiversity conservation and sustainable use. This includes the implementation of biodiversity action plans, habitat restoration projects, and measures to combat illegal wildlife trade and invasive species. International cooperation and collaboration are also crucial for addressing transboundary biodiversity challenges and achieving global conservation goals. Education and public awareness are central to the success of biodiversity conservation efforts. The International Day for Biological Diversity provides an opportunity to engage and educate the public about the value of biodiversity and the urgent need to protect it. Educational programs, community outreach initiatives, and public campaigns can help raise awareness, inspire action, and foster a sense of responsibility and stewardship for the natural world. By promoting biodiversity literacy, individuals and communities can be empowered to make informed decisions and take proactive steps to conserve biodiversity. In addition to raising awareness, the International Day for Biological Diversity celebrates the achievements and successes in biodiversity conservation. Many inspiring examples of conservation efforts can be found around the world, showcasing the positive impact of dedicated individuals, organizations, and communities. Success stories include the recovery of endangered species, the restoration of degraded ecosystems, the establishment of community-led conservation initiatives, and innovative approaches to sustainable resource management. These examples demonstrate that with commitment, collaboration, and creativity, it is possible to reverse biodiversity loss and build a more sustainable future. The International Day for Biological Diversity also underscores the interconnectedness of biodiversity and human well-being. Healthy ecosystems and rich biodiversity contribute to the overall health, resilience, and prosperity of human societies. Biodiversity provides essential resources for food, medicine, and livelihoods, particularly for indigenous peoples and local communities who depend directly on natural resources. The loss of biodiversity can have severe consequences for food security, health, and economic development, disproportionately affecting vulnerable populations. Therefore, protecting biodiversity is not only an environmental imperative but also a social and economic necessity. Climate change is another critical issue closely linked to biodiversity. The International Day for Biological Diversity draws attention to the interdependence between climate stability and biodiversity conservation. Biodiversity and healthy ecosystems play a crucial role in climate regulation by sequestering carbon, maintaining water cycles, and providing natural buffers against extreme weather events. Conversely, climate change poses significant threats to biodiversity, altering habitats, disrupting species interactions, and exacerbating existing pressures. Addressing climate change and biodiversity loss requires integrated approaches that recognize the synergies and trade-offs between these two global challenges. Furthermore, the International Day for Biological Diversity emphasizes the importance of equitable and inclusive conservation efforts. Biodiversity conservation should involve and benefit all stakeholders, including indigenous peoples, local communities, women, and marginalized groups. Indigenous peoples and local communities often possess traditional knowledge and practices that are valuable for biodiversity conservation and sustainable resource management. Recognizing and respecting their rights, knowledge, and contributions is essential for effective and just conservation outcomes. Inclusive conservation approaches also ensure that the benefits of biodiversity are shared equitably and that the voices and needs of all stakeholders are considered. In conclusion, the International Day for Biological Diversity is a global observance dedicated to raising awareness about the importance of biodiversity and promoting actions to protect and conserve it. Biodiversity is the foundation of life on Earth, providing essential ecosystem services, supporting human well-being, and contributing to the health and stability of the planet. However, human activities are driving unprecedented rates of biodiversity loss, threatening the resilience of natural systems and the availability of ecosystem services. The International Day for Biological Diversity highlights the urgent need for concerted efforts to conserve biodiversity, including protected areas, sustainable resource management, policy integration, education, and public awareness. By celebrating successes, fostering collaboration, and promoting inclusive and equitable conservation approaches, we can build a more sustainable future where biodiversity and human societies thrive in harmony. The International Day for Biological Diversity serves as a reminder that protecting biodiversity is not only an environmental imperative but also a social and economic necessity, essential for the health, resilience, and prosperity of present and future generations. As we commemorate this day, let us reaffirm our commitment to safeguarding the rich tapestry of life on Earth and take bold and transformative actions to ensure that biodiversity is preserved and cherished for generations to come. Thank you for valuable time.